Well, here's the Henry amplifier once again on its back because, well, when you're on your back, you're vulnerable and exposed and you're kind of dead. So, yep, that's the story in this thing. It's on its back, but there is some good news to the story. Anyway, here's the guts below the tube sockets in the Henry. They sure build this thing well. This is almost like, it seems like a 1950s design or something that's, I don't know, carried on to the 80s, but there's the input matching network in the Henry there, where the 3500Z tubes go in the bottom. I think this is the TR relay here. There's some coax coming into it. Yep, output coax there. Let's see what can tune down here, because there's the load right there. I don't have that knob on anymore, but that's what this round knob controls. It will move that capacitor. I was going to take the front panel off, but didn't do it. I was trying to find a short, actually. Finally got this thing sort of figured out, so I think it is ready to go. When I get some 3500Zs and some of those balancing capacitors for the power supply and a couple resistors, I think, or I'm sorry, balancing resistors, 25Ks, about 10 of those. I think I can put it back together. It should run. I went all through here looking for shorts, looking for open resistors, looking for bad diodes. I couldn't find anything. One little diode right there, which is fine. That resistor was good. I'm guessing that relay is okay. Looking for shorts in here, couldn't find anything. So I think that's all copacetic. I'm just assuming that all that works in there. The real bugaboo has been the power supply, of course. The power supply, which goes right there. This is a 200 ohm resistor. So the power supply will ground through the bottom. I'm almost trying to think, are they trying to make a negative bias voltage down there when they do that? I don't know that much about power supplies and the esoterics of it, but if you study enough, you'll understand it. Anyway, there's the schematic once again. And these diodes are 15 kilovolts. I think they survived the lightning strike. Those diodes right there. I wish this wouldn't do that. Jeez, turns blue. There. Anyway, those diodes right there are located here. You'll see these diode packs. There's two of them and they're wired together. There's the 200 ohm resistor right there. That is this one here, R9, which is 200 ohms. It's grounded. So it seems like this is positive here, HV. This is negative. Whoops, what am I doing here? This is positive. This is negative. This is where they feed in the AC, probably 3,000 volts or something. So really this part here wants to be grounded, because if you're making a full wave rectifier, this will be positive. Damn this thing. This will be positive here. This will be negative. This is AC going in. So it gets a little confusing down here. They have this diode in here, and the diode will only pull this way. And I'm wondering if it's trying to ground through there, would that make this negative? That they're trying to put bias in here. I don't know. I don't think it would do that. So anyway, that goes into number 6. I verified that this is 200 ohms here. It works. This diode is shorted out. I gotta fix it. This resistor was open and I ordered it. So where did R20 go to? It goes to number 5 here, I think. Number 6. Number 6 is here. What would cause that so much? What would cause that so much current to open a resistor like that? I don't know. So I keep looking for shorts on this thing. So that would go into 6 here, and it's simply going to measure high voltage, go to the meter, and how does it even measure high voltage if there's no ground? If it's set to current, HV has no ground point. So it's set to HV, it goes in here, through here, and where does it ground to? It doesn't make any sense to me. RF grounds, okay, so I'm really not sure how that works. I'm not sure why this would be burned out. Number 6. Is that correct? Number 6. Number 6. I guess that says 6 right there. 6, 4. There's 4. 4 goes to a meter. 6 goes to this VR, and I looked for shorts here. I don't see any shorts in this potentiometer. Maybe this thing did get hit by lightning. I don't see any other obvious reason how these things are blown up. I don't know. Anyway, all this stuff, it checks out fine. The meters, I guess they wiggle, who knows. So, put it back together. But what got burned up when I got this thing? This is okay. This is open. This is like a 22.5K. I think this one's open too. That's like a, what is this one? R10. Yeah, that's open also. That's like a 220K or something like that. Or 22, I forget. It's open. So this is open. That's open. And all of these were open. R8, R7, R6, R5, R4, R2. These are all open. So I ordered those. We'll see what happens. These diodes seem okay. They're 15 kilovolt diodes. If the thing did get lightning, maybe these didn't die in the lightning storm. Who knows what happened to this thing? Anyway, that's about it. I'll replace all that stuff. Everything else checks out for shorts. I kept harping myself on finding shorts, looking for things that are blown up. I found everything open and blown up, so I'm hoping this thing will go. The last thing I want to check is the little low voltage power supply. Make sure it still works. The diodes and the low voltage power supply look fine. I should try and make it key the relay and then see if it goes. And if that's fine, then put all those parts in there and put in the tubes, 3500Zs, and let them bake in for a while because they're new old stock from 1960s, I guess. So 1970s, let those tubes bake a while with the filaments on, and then run them at reduced high voltage to let the getters take the gas out. And then I guess try this Henry and see if it goes. I don't have the power for this thing at home. I can run it up till it pops the breaker, I guess, in 15 amps on 110 and see what it does. That at least should show that it works or not. So here's, yeah, these wires have been a real bummer. And I only get 2 ohms here. I kept thinking this thing's shorted. I'm only getting 2 ohms. So that point is, I think, number 6, and it goes to a shorting pin, which is weird, but let me show you that. So number 6, well, let me find the pin. So, and my mouse is gone. There it is. Okay, there's the mouse. So this little thing here has a bolt that bolts it to the chassis, and this little thing was loose. So this thing was loose, bouncing around, and there's a 2 ohm resistor here somewhere. Okay, yeah, so this R19 is a 2 ohm resistor, and I kept thinking, holy crap, I got a short. because I kept trying to measure this number 4, and I kept getting, you know, 200 ohms, and then I would get weird readings bouncing around, and then I finally got 2 ohms. So I finally figured out that this little plug is loose. This was loose mechanically, and I got it tightened up. And if you look up R19, I think that is a 2 ohm resistor. Let's take a look at R19. So they're trying to ground, I guess, the other end of the bridge through here. R19 is wire wound 10 watt, 1/2 ohm. Wow. 1/2 ohm, 10 watt. R19 is 1/2 ohm. Okay, there's R21. So let's see, where's R21 here? R21. R21, so this little plug, okay, there's R21 right there. Okay, there's R21, yeah, so that's 1/2 ohm, and that's 2 ohms. So that's where the 2 ohms was coming from. Now, why they want to have 2 ohms here, and then a little grounding pin you can pull out, you can pull this pin out to take the 2 ohms out of the circuit. So what would that do? That basically, I guess, grounds the power supply. So this is pin what? Pin 4. So pin 4, yeah, okay, so it basically is grounds. It basically grounds the power supply. There's pin 4 right there. Yeah, there's pin 4 right there, and if you look at this whole mess, you want to ground this anyway, because this has to be grounded for it to work right. So that gets a 2 ohm ground eventually to that pin. So that could be another reason why it didn't work. It didn't have its ground connection. And this diode was open, or it's shorted, so I gotta replace that. Anyway, maybe that's gonna fix this devil. So it's had a bunch of problems, but I think it's all figured out now. I'd like to show you that plug that's loose. That means I gotta pick up 60 pounds of this thing on my desk here, which isn't pleasant. Look at how this thing's made. It's almost like they went to an aircraft factory and they made a chassis out of aluminum stock, and they welded it, they did a TIG weld here to it. Look how cool that is. Back in the 80s. All right, so I want to show you the underside of this thing. Let me try and lift it. I'm not that strong anymore. I guess I can lift it. Look at the welding of this thing. It's so cool. I love stuff that's built well. This thing is built like a tank. It really is a tank. All right, let's pick up 60 pounds of this thing. The transformer is what this is what's heavy. Let's not kill myself. Gosh. Okay, well, it did pick up. And there it is. What can we see over here? There's the transformer. So I hope the filament voltages in this thing work. Of course, I've been roughing around in here. Yeah, so I kept getting 200 ohms on this wire, and then 2 ohms of it now. And I kept thinking, my God, I probably have a short. It's probably why the whole thing blew up, but it's not why it blew up. It blew up, I don't know why it blew up, but this really has to be a low ohms, because it's grounding the diodes. It's grounding it right there. So that's okay being 2 ohms. Okay, here's a pesky little plug. Check this damn thing out. So this little plug, this thing was loose. I mean, it was like jing, 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 really loose. And I couldn't get the front panel off because I don't have the right Allen wrenches to take off the controls. Anyway, I just jammed a screwdriver in here, and I kept turning this thing so it would tighten up, and it finally got tight. And this matters. This grounds the entire power supply. Why they want this little pin to pull out, it must be for tests. They also have like a little plug here. It looks like they were putting a jig in here to test it. And so They had some automation, I guess, back in the 80s, but this was made, I think, in 1980 in Singapore. Anyway, yeah, so there's that VR adjust on the schematic. Here's another look at the inside of this baby. There's the inductor for the plate. You just kind of, you can see a little roller in there rolling around. Roller inductor, I suppose they call this thing. Can you see a little roller there on a wheel? It's touching. So I don't care if the outside of this thing is cruddy. I do care that the inside would be cleaned up. This thing is silver coated, so I don't really want to rub it too hard. And I don't think I could get my hands in there to clean it or even do much with it. So I'm not really wanting to take that all apart yet, unless it is really bad. I checked all these caps out. They all weren't shorted. I guess this choke is fine. I did apply high voltage into here and could hear it ticking here, tick, 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 trying to jump over to here. So I know that nothing in here is shorted really. When I got this unit, this HV wire here was clipped, so they were debugging the high voltage assembly. Anyway, I think this thing will come back to life. I just had to put in the resistors and tubes now and bring it up slowly, and I think it'll come back to life. I hope the capacitors are okay. I don't really want to buy those, but we'll see. I guess I want to bring it up slow. Gonna put a light bulb in series with it and run it that way for a while, and put a cover over it so in case the capacitors explode, they won't explode on me. So that's my plan. Let it run, let it cook in, and if it cooks in, I can bring it to full power. And I'll have a Henry amp that I can't run here at home because I don't have the power for it anyway. But I've always wanted 3 500Zs. I don't know why. I guess I have 3 500Z or less. So I want to get those things in there. I got some coming in the mail. That's about it. Here's the new station. Well, it's not a new station. I just rearranged the radios. I had listed the Paragon 1 in power supply on eBay for months and months and months and months, and my brother has one, and I didn't really want to sell it, but I thought, you know, if somebody wants this Paragon and they want to buy it, they can buy it. So like someone did, and it's gone. so anyway, I didn't need 3 radios, so now I have 2 radios. This one seems to work fine. It's an FT-102, which is troublesome, but it works. There's the amplifier that I fixed recently. That's the Heathkit SB200 with the meter from China. The meter doesn't work great, but it works. And you know, I can show you it working. What the heck? Turn on the station here. Here's the power on. There's the heater. So I was going to talk on 40 meters tonight, see if I could get anywhere, but let me show you this thing working. So I was going to talk down around here. Looks like there's somebody yapping there. Okay, right about there is clear. Turn the amp on. Yeah, I bought this amp from an interesting fellow. He has 2 of these. I guess he built one of them from a kit. And this one, I guess he just didn't want, or somebody was using it and wrecked it. I don't know. So bought the amp from him, and I found it had a really bad problem with self-oscillation. So I looked up some stuff on the internet from the gurus, and one guy had a fix for it. So I posted in the videos how to fix this guy from self-oscillation, and that involved adding some capacitors, taking some out, getting the grids and the tubes grounded well, and it's through capacitors, and it's working well. Anyway, the amp's on 40 meters there. We're on 40 meters here. I dialed in the antenna, so it has no SWR. We're on 2000 scale. Oh yeah, so to key this thing, this radio doesn't have a plug that I can plug into yet for the amplifier, so I gotta just cross 2 wires here to key it. There we go, it's keyed. This little meter is sticky, and it should show plate current, so it doesn't, so I'll give it a little tap. There, now it's showing the plate current, so it's idle current on the plates. That's kind of a crap meter I put in there, but anyway. And then once I power this thing up with transmit, it'll put some power out. So here we go. It's not working, is it? What's it doing? I'm on 40. Oh, I gotta go to tune. There's tune mode there. Hit the power. It should go to 500 watts. Pretty much 500. Pretty cool, huh? Go back to LSB. Get the microphone. KB3 whiskey test. 1, 2, 3 test. KB3W test. 1, 2, 3. You can see the bulb dimming here too. KB3W. Look at that bulb dim. So yeah, I'm kind of power constrained here. And I put this little meter on here before the amplifier just to check the SWR going into the radio. Check 1, 2. So everything around this place is official, right? Okay, that's my little video. I guess I'm gonna shut this thing down. Maybe I'll try and talk on 40 for a while here. There's the Henry. Get it off my desk without dropping it on my feet. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.